I do not particularly like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I'm not trying to convince anyone not to like JoJo's. Back in the before times, when I was in college, I had a lot of free time. So when the first episode of JoJo's aired, I watched it. And I liked it. So much, in fact, that I decided to just go ahead and read the rest of the manga. I do not particularly like... So here's the first distinction that I should make. All of my feelings about JoJo's are mostly in regards to the manga. And now, I'm among the 3 people in the world that are actually perfectly fine with part 1 of JoJo's. It's kinda cute, so when I got to part 2, I got exactly what I wanted. And I love that the new protagonist, Joseph, was the complete opposite of our last hero, Jonathan. However, some things still didn't totally vibe with me. For one, I don't really care for the way Araki writes characters. While I love Joseph, I can't say I feel anything for anybody else. Their backstories are bland, if they even have backstories. The Pillar Men were threatening, but they weren't nearly as fun to watch as Dio. But hey, I kept going because part 3 kinda stinky.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no.
It's bloated and super long for no reason. Yeah, Jotaro is like a cool guy, but he kind of falls flat in this story. And it's not like the other characters are very good either. While I love Joseph, the problem is I think you can categorize most JoJo's characters in one of 3 slots. The funny, cowardly character, the calm, cool guy, and the crazy murderer. And that's the closest thing you'll get to a character arc in JoJo's, because character arcs simply do not exist.
It's false.
Now, I've gone on record saying that you don't need character arcs, but in JoJo's, every single character is flat. And to further show how lame and forgettable the characters are, most of them die unceremoniously. A lot of the deaths in JoJo's are simply there for shock value, and that's not even counting how many fake-out deaths we get. Cracks were starting to form.
Say crack again.
Crack.
A lot of the middle chunk of part 3 is just so goddamn boring. And the stands are really lame. Jotaro's stand can punch really fast. Polnareff's stand has a sword. Abdul's stand can shoot fire. And Kakyoin's stand can throw rocks. Ooh, how exciting. The last few fights are actually kinda cool. But I gotta say, the last battle in part 3 is pretty fucking good. It's probably the best fight in the entire series. So when I ended Stardust Crusaders, I was really not that excited to read more JoJo's. I think at this point, I started to feel the burnout just a little bit. Part 4 is the best part in JoJo's. And that's one of the biggest problems that JoJo has, in my opinion, trying to balance wackiness with consistency. Part 4 has the most consistent art up to this point. And I really fucking hate Part 5. Because it's garbage. It's one of the messiest shonen storylines I've ever read. The characters are whack. Calm, cool guy. Calm, cool guy.
できたの？どれどれ？何これ？当たってる？このチンピラが俺を舐めてんのか？何回教えや理解できんだこら！
Calm, cool guy. Funny cowards. Giorno is a joke. He's the worst JoJo by far. Even people who like Part 5 agree with me. I'm not trying to convince anyone not to like JoJo's. If you ask me, Giorno and Bruno should be merged into one character. Giorno is just a guy. I can't even name a single character trait. Calm, cool guy. And I should point out that Araki's writing in Part 5 is absolute garbage. Oh shit, I made one of the main characters too strong. Oh well, he's out of the story. Alright, well how come the main villain is revealed so late into the story? Because at this point, JoJo's is still an action shonen series. You know why Dio is the best villain in JoJo's? Because you get the most time devoted to fleshing him out. Also, why does Araki keep doing fake-out deaths? When did we start thinking this is acceptable? How many times does Mista die in Part 5? Why does Polnareff Turn into a turtle! Turn into a turtle! This is where the wackiness of JoJo's stops being cute for me. It is now a turtle! And this is specific to the manga, but holy shit, Araki's art takes a nosedive here. But I seriously cannot tell what the fuck I'm supposed to be looking at half the time. And everyone says that part 5 is cool because of the fights. The fights! Why do I care about the fights if I don't care about the story? And to top all of it off, part 5 is so goddamn long. Part 5 is basically just part 3 again, except you don't get a cool final battle. A lot of people just got to watch the anime, where a lot of the visual clutter is cleared up, but the anime did not exist when I read it, and I am not about to go back and watch like fucking 40 episodes of an anime that I know I don't like. I probably wouldn't be as mad or exhausted with the series if I hadn't tried to binge it in 2 months years ago. I was not having a good time. I think the final nail in the coffin was me forcing myself to read part 6 when I was genuinely exhausted with the series. The problem I have with JoJo's is that I love part 4 too much. Back when I read JoJo's, I was lucky to find a single Dio cosplayer at a convention. And JoJo's is huge now. And the fans are really fucking annoying. Since quitting JoJo's, I've read a lot of shonen that I actually like a lot more. I've read One Piece, a story that actually made me cry. I'm not saying that you're a dummy for liking JoJo's. I'm just telling you why I don't like it. Man, leave me alone.